In order to get rid of feelings of inferiority, I and 63 other women took turns wearing the same pair of silk stockings. At that time, I felt like, as long as the circle of friends is decent enough, the fake life will eventually turn into something real too. But after half a year, I just realized now what that pair of stockings brought to me. It's much more terrifying than just having a fancy photo and the luxurious dream that I have worked hard to achieve. It started from that time onwards. It's just a little broken, ruptured. My name is Susu. I'm 27 years old. I was born into a very ordinary income family. After graduating from college, I worked for an advertising company. More than 8,000 per month. It's hard to say if it's really poor enough. It's far from the lifestyle I had imagined. Actually, I've always been a very vain girl. I envy those girls who look so delicate and beautiful. I envy those bags that cost tens of thousands of dollars. I envy them for being able to enjoy afternoon tea in five-star hotels. I also envy them as they can travel abroad at any time for vacation. I didn't learn about it until later on. Some aspects of life can be rented out. Later, by chance, I got to know Chang Xian. He is 2 years older than me. The family is from a wealthy background. I also founded a company myself. First meeting, he wore very simple clothes. White shirt, black pants. There is a watch on my wrist. I can't remember its name. Later, a friend told me about it. That watch is worth over 200,000 yuan. At that moment, I felt a little inferior. Because that day, I was carrying a bag that seemed to be quite expensive. Actually, it was rented. The rent for one day is 380. I really just wanted to take a few photos, that's all. I never expected that I would actually meet Chang Xian by chance. We had a very pleasant conversation together. When it's time to say goodbye, he actively added me on WeChat and then returned home. His first message to me was that he was very happy today. I will treat you to dinner next time. I held the phone in my hands for a long time. Then, somehow I clicked to access my friends' circles. It's the life I've carefully built over the past 2 years. 5-star hotel. High-end restaurant nameplates, packed with flowers for travel use. And those who deliberately expose themselves. A photo of the brand logo. Actually, I live in an old neighborhood where the monthly rent is 1,200. Those hotels were booked by a group of several people together. More than 2,000 people gathered for the afternoon tea party. More than 20 people took turns sitting there. The cakes have already become a bit flat after being photographed. Those who come later still have to start over again. A dress is rented by dozens of people. One bag can be owned by several people in one day. There was even one occasion when we had to take a set of photos. The girl brought along a pair of very expensive silk stockings. 63 people working together. Everyone wears it for a while. After the shooting is completed, it can be moved on to the next step. When it's my turn, I actually feel somewhat reluctant about it now. There are wrinkles on the stockings left by the previous person. There's also a taste that's hard to describe precisely. I hesitated for a long time. But that night, Chang Xian just asked me what I was doing over the weekend. I looked at those stockings. I also took a look at the photos taken by someone in the group. In the end, I still decided to wear it. I took a photo in front of the floor-to-ceiling window. The rented bag is placed nearby. The perfume on the table was borrowed from someone else. When posting it on the Moments platform, I came up with a sentence for you. An ordinary day. Chang Xian gave me a thumbs up. That one upvote makes me feel that everything is worth it. And eventually, we really got together. Chang Xian never asked whether we had any money at home. But the more I like him, I became too afraid to let him know who I really am. He took me to meet some friends. People ask me where I usually buy clothes. I will pretend to casually mention a few brands. He gave me a very expensive necklace. I said to myself, why are you spending money like that again? But inside, I was too happy to sleep all night long. I even started to imagine things. If I can keep this state forever, maybe one day I will really be able to marry him. By then, even the false will become real. That's why I'm becoming more and more willing to spend money to improve myself. Salary, 8,000. I can spend more than 10,000 per month. If it's not enough, then use a credit card instead. If you don't have enough credit cards, you can use credit cards in installments. I don't dare to wear the same piece of clothing in front of him too many times. Don't dare to take advantage of such cheap packages. Even when he took me home, I will ensure that he stops at 2 intersections ahead of schedule. Once he suddenly said, "If I have the chance in the future, I will take you to meet my parents." I was completely stunned. That night, I lie in bed looking at my credit card statements. I told myself to hold on a little longer. As long as I marry him, everything will be worth it in the end. But it was also at that time that things started to change. Problems began to occur with my health gradually. At the beginning, it was just the toenails. The color is a bit yellowish. The edge gradually becomes empty. I thought it was because the nail polish was applied too frequently, caused the nails to get damaged. So I went to a nail salon that was much more expensive, cover up those ugly parts. I really thought that at that time, as long as others can't see it, that is to say, there are no problems at all. Later, my feet started to itch and peel occasionally. After that, there are some more private parts of the body. The position is also uncomfortable and doesn't feel right at all. It was also accompanied by a faint, barely noticeable smell. I have been to the hospital several times, but the physical discomfort continues to recur over and over again. The afternoon of the next day, I went to the hospital again. The doctor asked me many questions. I kept my head down, just saying that I feel unwell repeatedly. He asked me to perform some tests. After the inspection is completed, it turns out to be a fungal infection. He subconsciously noticed my feet. He asked me how long it has been since I last trimmed my toenails. I was stunned for a moment. Looked down at it, because a lot of nail polish has dried up. Those pieces have turned yellow and become thicker in texture. Nails that have become hollow at the edges. It can no longer be covered up. I feel a little awkward. About half a year, I think. The doctor frowned and asked, "Have you ever shared it with anyone else? Things like shoes, socks, slippers, towels, etc." In that instant, the idea of that rental house suddenly came to my mind. Dozens of girls. High heels, dresses, and bags scattered all over the ground. And those shoes, which are placed in transparent bags. A person wears a pair of stockings, then passes them on to the next person. I became completely frozen in place, unable to move anymore. I said in a low voice, "There's one." The doctor looked up at me for a moment. "I heard that you have onychomycosis. This isn't a minor issue at all. Onychomycosis is a fungal infection. It's very easy to spread to others or infect them directly. You said that you aren't feeling well. Skin itching? It's very likely due to this reason." He picked up a medicine box from beside him and placed it on the table. "Can't delay any longer? Use this fluorescent hydrochloride amyl fine liniment for application. Just apply it once a week and keep going with the treatment. All the tools are inside. Don't even think about folding it. If there are any problems, let's address them. Stop wearing shoes that are too tight on your feet. The socks are designed to penetrate through air. Don't share it with anyone else anymore." I stared at that medicine bottle for a long time. Later, Chan invited me to go to the beach to play. I think he might want to propose to me. For that trip, I spent another $8,000 on this. Hairstyling, nail art, buying dresses, renting bags, and more. I even prepared several bottles of perfume in advance. Before leaving, I looked at myself in the mirror. The makeup is very delicate. The dress looks really nice. Their nails were also covered with shiny nail polish. There aren't any problems with the shading at all. I suddenly felt I'm just one step away from living the life I desire. But that trip ended up being the most memorable experience of my life. An experience that one is reluctant to remember. That night, I took a very long shower. Another spout of perfume. But Cheng Xin still noticed something unusual with my body. He didn't say anything face to face. It's just that the hand that was extended earlier gradually retracts back into place. Then he slept with his back turned to me all night long. I lay down beside them. Keep awake until dawn. On the second day, it seemed as though nothing had happened at all. But I can feel that something has changed. More and more late messages arriving. I began to notice some changes in him. I'm trying my best to make amends. Give him a gift. Go to the company and find him. I even dressed up even more elaborately than before. But the more I try, he gets farther away from me every time. Until one day, I heard a saying from a mutual friend of mine. It took him a long time to tell me about Susu. Don't blame me for being too talkative. It seems like he misunderstood you. I asked what exactly was the misunderstanding.
He lowered his head and said what he had to say.
He doesn't know if you have experienced anything in the past. He thinks that a girl. There are always those problems with the body. Perhaps, at that moment, life became more complex. My face suddenly started to burn. I sat there for half a day, unable to speak at all. I suddenly understood why he avoided me that night. I also understand why he has become increasingly distant over time. But the most ironic thing is, I have been trying my best to hide my true nature over the past 6 months. That's to make him feel like I am a girl who is dignified and elegant, worthy of being taken a look at. At the end, but I became the most disgraceful person in his eyes. I called him to explain the situation. I said that I really didn't do those things at all. He said that I didn't mean to humiliate you. I just realized that it seems like there's something missing between us. There are too many things that I don't understand at all. Later, he proposed to break up with her. The day I hung up the phone, for the first time, I didn't bother to repair those already fallen off nails. I cried all night in the rental room. That was probably the first time in my life that I noticed something like that. True dignity isn't simply about covering up problems. Instead, they are willing to face it. I removed all my nail decorations. Also include those groups where people rent out packages and those groups where celebrities take photos. One by one, they withdrew. When I retreated to the last group, there are also people shouting in the group. Tomorrow, a 5-star hotel's afternoon tea time. 3 sisters are missing. Previously, when I saw such news, the transfer may be completed within 1 minute. That day, I only spent a few seconds looking at it. Then I clicked on the exit option. I started organizing my bills. 3 credit cards, plus the cost of seeing a doctor. Total, more than 70,000. And now there's only 136 yuan left in my bank account. There are also several empty branded boxes on the bed. Some of them were borrowed during the rental period, just so they could be used for photography purposes. Some people simply cannot afford to buy genuine products.
A packaging box that costs just a few dozen yuan.
I suddenly remembered those photos that I took over the past 6 months. The hotel is really great. The bag is really good. Afternoon tea is also real, isn't it? It's only that life isn't mine. It took me half a year to convince myself that I was capable of doing this. I got a girl who even makes me jealous. Only in the end did I realize it. The only real things that remain from those photos. It's a debt that I owe. Later, Sheng Shan also got the information from a friend. I know some things about them. I know that my family doesn't have any money at all. I perform so well indeed. I also know those bags. Those hotels? Those lifestyles that seem effortless at all. Most of them are fake. He didn't come back to see me at all. I didn't contact him anymore either. Sometimes I think, if I didn't lie to him from the beginning, will we have a different ending? But later I thought that the problem no longer matters at all, because it was in that relationship. My greatest regret is not having be able to marry a wealthy man. It started from the very first day I met him. I don't have the courage to let him know who I really am. I don't like the background of my family at all. Don't like your salary at all. I don't like the person who lives in that old neighborhood. Taking the subway to and from work. When buying things, I always look at the prices. I thought that all I needed to do was to wear an expensive shell over myself. Then I will become more worthy of being loved. I didn't understand until the very end. The ones who really like you, what needs to be recognized is, in fact, your true self. And what really makes a person stand upright is, it never matters how much money one has. What brand is the clothing? How many people in the social circle are envious? It's not necessary for you to lie or hide anything. Don't be afraid that one day, something might happen suddenly. Remove that beautiful wrapping paper from your body. I'm still slowly paying off my debts right now. There are no luxury items in the shoe cabinet. My social media account hasn't been updated for a long time. The salary will be credited to my account every month. I also lost a portion of my credit card balance. Watching the numbers gradually decrease. In fact, I feel more secure now than before. In the past, I always thought that things should definitely look expensive. Then one won't be underestimated by others. I only found out later. The most valuable thing a person has. It never really existed as a physical object at all. It doesn't matter who stands in front of it. They even dare to admit it. This is me. My family is quite ordinary. My income is also quite average. My life isn't that exciting at all. But I don't need to pretend anymore. Only 20 days left until the wedding. I was rejected in my engagement. There was no cheating at all. And there was no betrayal either. It's just because of that night. He decided to turn on a light on a whim. That one light. I revealed all the secrets that I had hidden for 5 whole years. My name is Li Ming. I'm 27 years old. I met my fiancé Chun Hao through a person who introduced us to each other. Our hometown is in the same town. I didn't recognize them from a very young age. Later, they all went to work in the provincial capital. We met through a relative's introduction. The person who introduced me is my aunt. She said that Chun Haoren is honest. Stable job? Those who work in technology don't smoke. I rarely drink alcohol at all. My emotional experiences were also quite simple. The first meeting took place at a fish-grilled restaurant. He was wearing a plain black coat. It seems like I'm a little nervous. The menu was reviewed for a long time before they asked me if I liked spicy food. I'll say just a little bit. He spoke to the waiter very seriously. Then, it's slightly spicy. Put less chili in it, please. I almost laughed out loud. Who would ask for a medium spicy level, and then still ask for less chili powder? But it's precisely this kind of clumsiness that makes it so interesting. I have a very good impression of him. Chan, he isn't romantic, but he is very careful and considerate. Watch some great videos. It's even better with a new phone. Hey, this time it's not tap tap. It's something else. It's much easier to find games with tap tap. The range of products is extremely comprehensive. Small to leisure and entertainment-related items. Big enough to be an open world. Even for independent games, buying full versions is a great choice. Everything in the two-dimensional world exists indeed. In short, I recommend using TapTap for playing games. I went out to have fun once. The heel of my shoe is damaged. I said there's no problem at all. He still ran 2 streets to buy some Band-Aids. Sit down by the roadside and help me stick the stickers properly. At that time, I felt that This man might not be very good at flattery, but it's quite suitable for everyday life. After getting to know each other for over 2 months, we have determined the relationships between them. Both parents are also aware of this situation. It can start from that time. I feel increasingly panicked inside because I have a secret. If Chunhao knew about this, it's very likely that he will leave my secret right away. I haven't forgotten to tell him about it. There were a few times when I actually spoke out about Chunhao. Actually, there's one thing that I haven't told you yet. But every time he looks up at me, I just couldn't go on anymore. I always try to comfort myself like this. Just wait a little longer until emotions become more stable. Let him love me a little more. After we actually get married, I will tell him again. Maybe by then he won't leave me anymore. Once we went on a trip. That was the first time we lived together. That night, I insisted on turning off the lights. Chunhao laughed at me for being too shy. I just said that I'm not used to sleeping with the lights on. He didn't think too much about it. That night, I even felt that, as long as I'm careful enough, this secret can really be kept hidden forever, right? Later, the two families started to discuss getting married. It was the first time I officially took Chunhao home with me. My dad went to buy groceries early in the morning. My mother kept the house very clean and tidy. We haven't sat down for long yet. My 5-year-old sister has just returned from kindergarten. As soon as she entered the room, she ran over to me and called me sister. My heart suddenly became tense. But still, naturally, she was picked up. Chunhao didn't think too much about it. He continued to laugh and tease her. I really miss your sister like this. While eating, my little sister always sticks close to me. Let me help you with the food. Help her peel the shrimps. Chunhao smiled and said, "Why is your sister so attached to you?" I've said since I was a child. Later, he asked my father as well. The two daughters of your family are so different in age. My father was momentarily stunned. He laughed and said, "Yes. Having children as one grows old." My mother was looking down at the ground. Didn't say anything at all. I couldn't even finish that meal at all. On the way back to the hotel, Chunhao is in a very good mood. He said that my parents are very easy to get along with. My little sister is also really cute. After a while, he said that in the future if only my daughter was as cute as that. Hearing these words, my nose started to feel sore immediately. I almost told him all the truthful details. But in the end, I managed to hold back myself. I told myself to wait a little longer. The wedding is already in preparation. Wait for the certificate to be issued. They truly became husband and wife. I'll tell her slowly, step by step. As long as he loves me enough, perhaps I won't leave at all. But I didn't expect that. As long as secrets exist, sooner or later there will be flaws in it. There is only 1 month left until the wedding. We went out and had fun again. I returned to the hotel that night. Chunhao suddenly turned on the light next to the bed. I wasn't prepared at all. The moment the light turned on, I became completely motionless. I subconsciously pulled the blanket over my stomach. But it's already too late. Chunhao saw it. He stared at those marks on my stomach. The obvious patterns took a long time to notice. I wonder what these things are. I tried to remain calm under my breath. I used to be overweight before. The fat lines left after losing weight. He remained silent for a while. Suddenly asked me if I was ever pregnant in the past. In that instant, my mind is completely empty right now. That should be my last time doing that. Opportunities to speak honestly voluntarily. But I still said that there wasn't any. He stared at me. I wonder if it's true. I forced a smile and said, "Seriously, why would I lie to you?" He didn't ask anymore. Just turned off the lights. That night he slept with his back turned to me for a long time. I kept my eyes open. Didn't get enough sleep overnight. Starting from the next day, Chunhao has clearly changed. There are fewer and fewer messages available. The response times are getting slower and slower. I asked about the details of the wedding. He also always said that he would talk about it another day. I know that he isn't busy. He began to doubt me, but I still hope for luck. I even feel that, as long as I refuse to admit it at all costs. What else can he find out? But I forgot. Some things just happened in reality. It will definitely leave behind traces. 1 week later, Chun Hao invited me to visit the coffee shop in the old place. By the time I arrived, he is already sitting there. There is no coffee on the table. It's just a red box containing our wedding rings. I see that box. I felt extremely cold all over my body. I just sat down. He asked me, "Who on earth is Li Ming's sister?" I still want to act like an idiot. But he stared at me and said only one thing. "The 5-year-old girl from your parents' family. Is it really your sister or your daughter?" At that moment, I couldn't say a single word. He watched my reaction. The answer is already known. Tears suddenly flowed down from my eyes. I could only nod in agreement. It's her. She's my daughter. And finally, I managed to hide it. 5 years of secrets were revealed to him. At the age of 22, I am still in my 4th year of study. At that time, I had a boyfriend for over 2 years. I really thought that we would get married. We have rented houses before. We also discussed which city we would like to live in after graduation. After that, there was a period of time. My body has always been irregular in its rhythms. I also got a little fatter. I thought it was just the pressure of graduating and finding a job that was too much for me. Until it becomes clear that something is not right. The pregnancy has reached a considerable stage now. I called that man. I thought that he would at least help me find a solution together. But he remained silent for a few seconds. The first sentence, however, is, "Are you sure it's mine?" Later, he stopped answering the phone. After that, I simply turned off the computer and moved away. Unable to get in touch with at all. My parents found out about it. Arrived in the provincial capital overnight. My mother held me in her arms all night long, crying with me. Ultimately, due to the circumstances at that time, the child was finally born. It's a girl. The nurse held her next to me for the first time. I don't even dare to look at it. I don't know what I will do in the future. I really don't know what to do with this child at all. In the end, my parents brought her back to their hometown. I was only 22 years old at that time. My mom said that I will still need to get married in the future. This matter shouldn't be known by too many people. So, to the outside world, they say this. It's the younger daughter that came later, and I am her sister. Since he started learning to speak, she kept calling me sister. At first, every time he called out, I feel uncomfortable inside. After that, I heard more of them. I actually got used to it over time. I even really felt that, as long as no one speaks anymore, that past can be considered as if it never happened at all. Until I met Chun Hao. I like him more and more every day. I'm also becoming more and more afraid of losing him. That's why I've always been afraid to speak out about it. I told Chun Hao in tears. I no longer have any contact with my child's father. I really don't want to deceive her for the rest of my life. I'm just afraid that she might say no to me. Chun Hao remained silent for a long time. He asked me about the first time he visited my house. Everyone knows that that child is my daughter. Only he doesn't know whether it's correct or not. I nodded. His eyes suddenly turned red.
He said, Li Meng,
What I can't accept at all is that you have children. If we meet for the first time, please let me know immediately. I might be hesitant about it. It's even possible that they might leave altogether. But at least that was my choice. But now... Your parents know about this. Your former classmates know about this. The child also continues to live in this lie. Only I, who is ready to marry you, don't know anything at all. He said that what I find most unacceptable is, I asked you questions face to face that night. Have you ever been pregnant? Look into my eyes. Let me tell you that there is no such thing. I actually started crying right away. I said that I just want to wait until after I get married before telling you about it. I hope you will love me a little more. Perhaps you will be able to accept it then, he said with a bitter smile. Then have you thought about that? What gives you the right to decide for me? After we get married, I will have to accept what he has to say. You're not afraid that I might not be able to accept your past. You're afraid that I might take the opportunity to leave after learning about this. So you simply don't give me this opportunity at all. I still can't forget that sentence even now. Later, both of the parents learned about this situation. My mother called Chun Hao's mother to apologize. My father even went to Chun Hao's house in person. By that time, the hotel deposit had already been paid. Most of the applications have been sent out already. The wedding photos are ready. The wedding dress is still hanging in my room. My dad told him that Xiaoming really did do something wrong in the past. But at that time, she was still young. Children, we can always help them out. It won't affect your lives at all. Chun Hao only said uncle. I don't underestimate him at all. I just have no way of knowing about these things in the future. And pretend like nothing happened at all. Only 20 days left until the wedding. We decided to cancel the marriage instead. That day, Chun Hao returned all the things to me. Only one photo was left from our trip photos. In the photo, I'm sitting on his shoulder. I was extremely happy laughing. I asked him, "Do you really not love me at all?" He remained silent for a long time before saying, "It's because they have loved each other once. That's why it's even more difficult to accept it." That night, I got home. My daughter ran over to hug me, just like before. He tilted his head forward and asked my sister, "Why didn't that brother come at all?" In that instant, I can't hold it anymore. I squatted down, held her in my arms, and cried for a long time. It took a while before anything happened. I finally wiped away my tears and said to her, "From now on, don't call her sister anymore. Call her mom instead." She stared at me blankly. After a long time, he tentatively called out mom once. Those two words, just that. I collapsed on the spot. For the past 5 years. A total of 5 years. In order to make myself look like a woman without a past, I hid my own daughter as if she were my sister. I thought that as long as others don't know about it, that period of time no longer exists anymore. But later I understood. Starting over doesn't mean that the past can be erased. It also means that it's not allowed to let someone else know about it without one's knowledge. Under the circumstances, I will bear the consequences of what happened in the past. I thought about everything many times later on. If it's the first time we meet Chun Hao, I will tell him about it. Maybe he really will leave indeed. Maybe we won't even have a second meeting at all. At least I won't feel as regretful as I do now. Because Chun Hao really cannot accept it. It wasn't me who gave birth to the child. It's me who keeps choosing to deceive over and over again. I always thought that I kept things hidden because I loved him too much.
It wasn't really love, I realized later.
I just fear losing it. Everyone has a past. Some people love to miss out on opportunities. Someone has gotten lost along the way. Some people have indeed paid a price for their choices. None of these things means that they aren't worthy of being loved in the future. But if you do this in order to gain a relationship, hide the true self from view. One day, surely. Come here and get warm. What you may have lost isn't necessarily important. They can't accept those people from your past. It was actually possible in the past. The person who accepts you for who you really are. I am 27 years old this year. The marriage did not succeed. But finally, I learned it for the first time. I no longer call my daughter sister. That divorce experience taught me something. People who are willing to enter into marriage with you, it can be decided at the end of the process that your past will not be accepted. But at least he deserves the right to know the truth. Because what marriage truly fears never is how difficult it is to remember someone's past. But one day, the person you trust the most suddenly realizes something. It turns out that everyone knows the truth. He was the only one who remained in the dark about everything. For that so-called vanity. I stepped into that Mercedes-Benz vehicle immediately. I thought that it was a shortcut to achieving dignity. Until the video spreads throughout the group of 500 owners. Until his wife contacted my husband. Since then, I became extremely popular in the community owners group. My name is Lin Yu. I'm 29 years old. In the eyes of outsiders, I live in a high-end residential area where the price per square meter is over tens of thousands of dollars. Both entry and exit are guarded by security personnel who salute each other. It seems like things are going well. But only I know that. Behind all this glamour, it's all just a forced expression of sorrow. Our family has quite average conditions. Joe Kong is just an ordinary programmer, working overtime every day until late at night. Hairs are falling off in clumps. In order to ensure that the child can get into a good school in the future, we gritted our teeth and continued along this high-class path. One rented a small 60-square-meter apartment in the community. Every day I watch the neighbors coming and going in their expensive cars, wearing a branded bag on one's back. My heart feels like it's covered in weeds. I'm pretty. This is the only thing that makes me proud, from childhood to now. After giving birth, looking at that haggled face in the mirror, let's see how Joe Kiang's salary is distributed each month. After deducting the mortgage payment and the expenses related to formula milk, very little remains of the balance. The sense of loss in my heart is like an abyss without bottom. I really want to be able to buy a bag without putting in any effort. Days when we don't need to look at the price tag to swipe the card. I think I'm quite beautiful, right? Why should I stay in this tiny space? Staying in the small room, looking like a yellow-faced woman. Lu Feng appeared at that moment. He is one of the most active members in the property owners group. The avatar is the logo of a Mercedes-Benz car. He not only has money, it looks really elegant too. That kind of temperament characteristic of a mature man. Joe Kong, who wears plaid shirts every day, is simply not comparable to him at all. The first meeting took place in the underground garage of the community. That day I was pushing the stroller. I just passed by his parking space. He was driving a black Mercedes glass. I'm about to get out of the car. He saw me, paused for a moment. Then a particularly gentle smile appeared. Is that the new neighbor who moved in? Need any help? That day he helped me carry the stroller up the steps. It also added my WeChat account. Lu Feng really understands women very well. He never does anything that might provoke others. It's a kind of care that operates quietly and subtly.
He can say month by month.
Your beautiful appearance shouldn't be confined by household chores. He will take me to a fancy restaurant, take me to experience a luxurious life that I have never encountered before.
In his Mercedes car,
He took my hand and said, You're being too unjustified by following Joe Kong. I was defeated, overpowered. It's not just because of his good looks and caring nature. It's also because of that sense of pleasure that comes from transcending class boundaries. After the first sexual encounter, he put $2,000 in my bag. He stroked my hair and said, Take it and buy yourself a beautiful dress. Don't always treat yourself unfairly. At that moment, the sense of morality in my heart struggled slightly. But it wasn't long before those two things happened. The pink-colored bills helped to extinguish the fire. I told myself, this isn't a proper sale at all. This is called compensation. And that's how I became a slave owned by Lu Feng, the canary in the advanced community. This kind of relationship. We continued this arrangement without saying a word for over a year. Zhou Shang is still working overtime. They still hold that awkward, cheap love for me. He saved every penny he could. I can't even bear to buy a new piece of clothing at all. But it happens every month, after I receive my salary. Take me to eat something delicious. Looking at Zhou Qiang's honest face, I also occasionally feel guilty, but I just turn around and move on. When I sit down in that spacious room of Lu Feng, a Mercedes-Benz car, filled with the scent of high-quality perfume. When I received it from Lu Feng, that 1,000 to 2,000 for pocket money, that little sense of guilt disappeared completely, without a trace. I become more and more vain over time. I started buying branded skincare products. I bought a bag that was previously only available to look at from outside the closet. I lied to Zhou Kong, saying that these items were purchased online and they were of poor quality. He actually believed it after all these things happened. He watched as I became more beautiful, still smiling stupidly, saying monthly again, "As long as you are happy, it doesn't matter what I do." I thought I was playing very smart. They thought that as long as Lu Feng doesn't say anything, I won't speak either. This business can continue indefinitely. But I forgot. Lu Feng has a wife, and moreover, his wife is actually 100 times more ruthless than I imagined. Lu Feng's wife has always suspected that he was having an affair with someone else. She didn't go to their house and cause trouble like some angry woman would do. It was actually done secretly, in Lu Feng's car. The Mercedes car is equipped with a miniature camera for capturing tiny details, because the rear seat of that car is spacious. And to ensure privacy, we also applied a thick anti-explosion film. We thought that it was the safest place in the world. That afternoon, after doing what I usually do, putting the child to sleep, I got into the car at Lefeng. That scene was clearly captured by the camera. The way I looked in the video, completely absorbed in the moment. Even when I watch it myself, I still find it disgusting. But Lu Feng's wife took revenge. It's even more cruel than killing me myself. She selected the most disturbing 15 seconds from that video. He painted the face of Lu Feng with thick mosaic patterns. But my face is clearly visible. Every single eyelash can be clearly seen. He not only posted the video online, but also that group of 500 people who own that property. Also, it was specifically addressed to Zhou Kong. That was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The group became chaotic. I'm sitting on the sofa, watching the screen of my phone scroll wildly in front of me. Every word, every single meme. It felt like a loud slap to the face.
It pierces my soul.
My hands are too trembling to hold the phone properly. The child is crying in the bedroom, but I don't even have the strength to stand up. Half an hour later, Zhou Kong has returned. He came back while running. The sweater on my body is completely soaked with sweat. As soon as he entered the room, he slapped me directly. The smell of blood rushed into my throat instantly. Because of inertia, I fell backward down. The head hit the shoe cabinet. He threw his phone right in front of me. The voice is hoarse, not like a normal human voice at all. Lin Yu, over the past year and a half, the money you spent on buying a bag, the money you spend on buying cosmetics, it all starts the same way. I opened my mouth, but it couldn't produce any sound at all. Zhou Shang smiled. Laughing looks even worse than crying. I often work overtime until 2 a.m. every day. I ate instant noodles to save some money on lunch expenses. I'm thinking about saving up enough money to buy a small house in this neighborhood. Give you and your child a home. And in the end, you sold yourself in someone else's car. Why is the Mercedes-Benz so good? He turned around. I started to organize the child's clothes mechanically. Get a divorce, and let me take the child with me. Lin Yu, such a person isn't worthy of being a mother. I knelt on the ground and begged him. I said that I did this for this family. I do this so that my children can have a better life. He kicked me away with one foot. There was only disgust and aversion in their eyes. It's like looking at a pile of garbage. Later, this incident became quite controversial. Lu Feng's wife had no intention of letting me go. This matter has become extremely controversial, well known. Those people who used to envy me in the past. All my old classmates and friends now know about this. That kind of social death? It's 10,000 times more terrifying than the pain of the physical body. I went to ask Lu Feng for help. I want him to help me. But Lu Feng seemed to have disappeared completely. His phone is out of service. WeChat has blocked me. I only found out later. His wife has all the evidence of his infidelities in her hands. He did everything in his power to keep his fortune safe, in order not to leave the company with one's clothes on but no skin on one's back. He immediately knelt down in front of his wife and admitted his mistakes. They poured all that dirty water onto me. He said that I seduced him. Sighed, I posted it voluntarily just for money. In his wife's eyes, he just made the same mistakes that all men make. And I am the one who ruins others' families. They don't have any sense of shame. Those foreign girls really are disgraceful. I not only lost my family, and they also lost the ability to establish themselves in this city. The landlord felt that this matter it ruined the feng shui of the house. They didn't even refund the deposit at all. I just threw all my things out. Now I'm back in my hometown, that backward small county town. I rent a dark and damp basement. I worked as a stalker in a supermarket. I don't dare to look at myself in the mirror. I don't dare to look at any signs or symbols related to Mercedes-Benz cars. The salary was paid every month. I will secretly transfer money to Zhou Qiang's mother. I really hope I can buy some delicious things for my child. Although I know that those money, they probably won't even want to do it at all. At the quiet of the night, I often think about this. Why have I ended up in this situation? Is it because of poverty? Actually, that's not the case at all. There are many people in this world who live a much harder life than me, but they lived in freedom and integrity. Is it because I don't love Zhou Kong at all? No, that's not it. It's because I'm too greedy. I want to take a shortcut. I want to use my beauty as a means to gain something in return. Those luxuries that never truly belonged to me. I thought Lu Feng was a great help to me. I didn't realize that he was actually just me. The most dangerous obstacle on the path of life. That 15-second video. Although it has already been cleaned up, but it remains like a mark that can never be healed. It was burned onto my face. I am 29 years old. Just because of that little bit of vanity and greed? Completely ruined. If you are also an ordinary woman, if you have also experienced those things, the fleeting glory of the impermanent world touched my heart. Please remember my teachings. There are indeed many such situations in this world. Things can be bought with money, but honor and self-respect, and that family who truly love you too. Once it's sold, it will no longer be possible to purchase it again. Don't touch that Mercedes that doesn't belong to you. Because of every bit of comfort that exists there, it's marked with a price that you can't afford to pay.